This will be the last installment in the Medeco hand cut keys. So here we have our control key, and since these were large format interchangeable cores that I had and wanted to cut keys for both of these, we also needed, and I had a blank for a control key, so thought we might as well go for that. So what I'm going to do here is test out and show you how I test out the control key. We want to slide the ring on in the correct orientation over key pins 3 and 4, and then we'll slide onto our key. And if you have any pins that rotate above the line, you can knock them back into place, and they should fall into the true gates should fall in properly, which in that case they did. Let's see if we can get a little bit better. So you can see here, if I move this in and out, how the key pins go up and down, just like a regular lock. But we want to make sure that these top 2 pins here go right to our flush with the control ring, and the other 4 pins are cut exactly the same as our previous key. So what I did for the final fitting in the last key is it's about the same on this one. So you can take your control sleeve and you can see without the sleeve on, we got those 2 pins. Those 2 pins up, and if we wanted to, we can go ahead and use this to see if we can get any snags on other key pins, and just to get our key working very smoothly. That goes. One thing I have noticed about these Medeco hand cut keys, or it could be just in general, is that the cuts that I have are fairly aggressive in terms of both height as well as the rotation is from front to back is straight, and then we have one cut this way, so I'll just call that left, right, and straight. So this aggressive twisting of all the pins sometimes makes it to where if we want to insert this into a lock, if we jam the key in real fast, sometimes we won't get an open. We either have to wiggle it around, and sometimes that gets us a nice open, which in that case it did. You can see, and after that we get open pretty easily. But sometimes what you have to do is you have to kind of go in one position or go out with the key one position and back in, and that usually lines you up just right if you do it. Otherwise, you know, the 1 or 2 of the key positions seems like it doesn't rotate quite into place. So what I do is just click, go like that, and I usually get the key to work the first time pretty easily. Same thing, that's the control key there. Same thing with the operating key. If I jam in, sometimes this guy binds up, which it did. And if I just go back out and then there, you can see it works pretty easily and effortlessly after that. So the cuts seem to be pretty well correct. If they were machine cut, it maybe work better. But in this case, because I believe the extreme aggressive bitting that I chose happened to be that the key won't work quite as smoothly. It also could be that I need to just go to the top of this with the file and kind of round these off a little bit more, which I'm going to try. See how that helps with the operation of the key. But overall, I'm very happy with this project. I'm happy with being able to actually open my locks without having to pick them all the time. Having keys isn't something that I necessarily need as I become more proficient at picking these locks. However, it is nice to have them, nice to have the control key, especially if you want to take them apart, do things with them. Just makes it a little bit more handy to keep a collection of locks around when they actually have keys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that some of you guys start to make some keys for Medecos. I'd love to see other restricted keys and how they could be done by hand for the hobbyist. It's just that, you know, for production lock, I get why keys are restricted and why it's hard to go get them copied or cut, but for these old locks, there just aren't keys for them. You know, a lot of times when you pick them up on eBay, you can get them real cheap because there's no keys. So hopefully this gets some guys some of the keys and able to at least get your locks open and closed and have some fun with them. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.